over $62,000 with a simple trade and a simple strategy in just a couple of hours. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna go through a breakdown of a US30 trade that I took this morning that made me over $62,000. And as always, we're gonna go through the analysis, the breakdown, the price action confluences, literally everything that I saw in order for me to take this trade. So remember to subscribe, comment, and like this video because we try to grow this community and try to get this kind of content to more people. So maybe people can learn and maybe take some tips out of this content. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing that I like to do when I'm trading is that I like to know where I'm at. And for that, I go to the daily chart. So here, when we go to the daily on US30 today, I see that US30 basically is creating higher highs and higher lows on the daily internally here. So you guys can see we have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then we kind of have like a double top thing here, but we're still creating higher highs and higher lows. Market do a pullback here and found a 4-hour support or order block, which is the thing that I basically traded. Order block or POI. So here, when we drop to the 4-hour, I just understood that I'm creating higher highs and higher lows. Now, I dropped to the 4-hour to try to find a POI where I want to trade from. So I go to the 4-hour. And I found this POI here, right? If we see a based on market structure, we can see that we break a structure here, right? Creating a new higher high, right? We have a break structure here. We have a new higher high. And then we've basically left this order block. As this one is too big, I want to drop to the 1 hour to look for a more specific level, because if I mark up the entire order block on 4-hour, it's going to be too big for me to look for a possible trade. So what I do, I go to the 1 hour and try to make it more smaller, so that way I can have a more maybe a smaller order block or POI that can give me a better entry when it comes to taking, you know, a good trade. So but the overall trade is basically in an uptrend, creating higher highs and higher lows. The daily, the 4 hours. So now I just dropped the 1 hour and found the 1 hour POI. So what happens, I think was yesterday, we have a massive news that make the market to push up, creating a massive move that also left a 1 hour order block here, and that's basically the one that I mark up, and I was looking for a possible trade once the market retests that level and give me any kind of price action. All right, so here today we have the market retesting it because we have couple of retests prior to today. And for example, here we have 1 and 2 times touches, and you guys can see that as soon as it touch, we have a massive push to the upside. So I was expecting the same thing to happen today because the market overall, we still have the uptrend structure on the 4-hour and the daily. So I'm looking for buys as soon as market touch here. So when market basically drop at 9:30 all the way down to our order block, what I did was basically go to the 15 minutes and try to find a good entry. This time, on the 15 minutes, we didn't have any good entry because market just touched the level and basically pushed aggressively all the way up here, giving me my TP. So what I did, when that happens, I like to go to the 5 minutes. But as I said, I don't recommend anybody to drop to the 5 minutes on US30 especially, because the 5 minutes is too aggressively when it comes to movement. So I always try to keep into 15 minutes. I only go to the 5 minutes. Maybe out of 10 tricks that I take, I only take maybe 1 or 2 on 5 minutes, just because on 15 minutes, my win rate and my possibility of winning are super higher, you know, versus the 5 minutes in this case. So here I dropped to the 5 minutes just because we didn't have any good confirmation, any price action where I can take the trade. I've dropped to the 5 minutes here, and I wait for the market to break a structure and come back to a minor order block. So here, if we just go into market structure on the 5 minutes, we have a lower high here, then lower low, then lower high, and lower low, right? So my last level that we have internally here for a break should have been this one here, right? That's the first one. Also, we have this one. So on the 5 minutes, we have two levels that have been taken down or taken out, as you want to call it. And for that reason, we have a clear structure that if market pull back to my order block, is one trade that I want to take. So what I did is just mark up this level here, right? This entire level, because this order block was too small for me to take the trade from. So I decided to mark up the entire all those candles here because it makes more sense for me to take the trade. So for that, I wait for the market to retest this level, and that's when I took my trade. I put my stop loss below this low here, right? Was 78 pips. I think this is 76. So I did 78 pips, something like that. And I target this previous high, which makes a lot of sense for us, for a TP, to grab liquidity from this high of 1 hour. So basically I went all the way up here, right here, and I made 1 of 3, almost 1 of 4. So basically we just have that touch there, right? And then you guys can see aggressively we push, and then finally we grab liquidity, and after that market start dropping back again. I'm gonna show it here on the left of the screen, the trade that I took, my entry and everything, but you guys can see it was a pretty easy setup. Everything makes sense for me to look for the buy because of the daily and the 4 hour, and then we have the 1 hour retesting this order block that literally has been tested before, and we've seen that market every time that touch it, we have a aggressive reaction to the upside, giving us a possible trade. So what I did was the same thing. I wait for the market to come back to that level, wait for price action, because that's the important thing when it comes to trading order blocks or POI, because there's a lot of people that just wait for the POI, the market to touch the POI or order block, and they enter to the trade without any confirmation. And that's a mistake that you do when you do that kind of stuff, because you don't want to take a trade without having a price action confirmation. And that's basically what I do. When I mark up a POI of 1 hour, I like to see a minor break once you get to my order block, and that's when I start looking for a trade. And that's basically what we see here. You guys can see that we have a break here to the upside, right? Then we have a pullback to the level, a minor order block that create here on 5 minutes. So you guys can see that I didn't take it as soon as it hit here. I wait for confirmation. So when market going into my level, I wait for the market to break a structure, right, to the upside or change your character, and then retest the minor order block that create. And that's basically when I take my entry once I have confirmation. So one market touch here, I took my trade, and that's a pretty easy setup with all the confluence that I'm looking for. So my confluences here was daily on an uptrend, 4 hour on an uptrend, market basically coming back to this 1 hour order block that we mark up, that is basically the same order block that create, right, impulsive move on news. So eventually that order block was a great level to wait for the market to retest to start looking for a possible trade. And you guys can see multiple times market touch it, and then we got an opportunity. So I wait for the same thing here to happen, wait for the order block to be retested. I dropped to the 15 minutes. This time on 15 minutes, I didn't have any price action for me to take the trade. So I dropped to the 5 minutes and I wait for confirmation. My confirmation was a break of a structure here on 5 minutes and wait for the market to retest to the minor order block that created. And that's basically my entry point in my confirmation that make me to take this trade blindfold, because I trust my analysis. I trust my kind of setup, because this is a setup, order block, break a structure, retesting, and that's pretty much it. So here you guys can see pretty easy setup, over almost 1 of 4, over $62,000 in a trade. That took me 2 hours and 20 minutes. Easy setup, and I was done for the day. You guys can see it's basically super quick, as I always do my analysis here. I make it simple. I don't complicate anybody here with trend lines and things like that. I don't say that using trend line is bad. I just said that I just make it as super simple that anybody can understand. Market structure, price action, POI, and liquidity grab for my take profit. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. Remember to subscribe, comment, and like this content so we can grow up the community and this kind of information can get to more people. Also, if you guys want to join my trading live group, I'm gonna put the link on the description where you guys can trade live with me 4 times a week. You guys can see here. I'm gonna show you guys my group this week. We have an amazing week. We have basically I send the setups here, and also we trade live. You guys can see all the trades that we took this week, and we have a quick recap. Here we have 8 trades. We won 4 trades and break even 2 trades, and we only lose 2 trades, and we were up somewhere 7 to 10% on the week by only risking 1%. If you risk 2%, somebody were up maybe somewhere from 14 to 20%, which in my case I was risking 3%, and that's basically what I was aiming for, somewhere from 27 to 35% on the week by risking only 3% of my account. But this is basically a group where you're gonna be trading with me live, and if you want to do that, that's something that you can do, or you can basically continue looking at my free content. That also I have a free channel that I'm gonna put in the description below, so you guys can join there, and I send trades from time to time there, and also basically share some trading ideas as well. All right, guys, so basically this is it for this video. I hope you guys like this content, and if you like it, comment and subscribe as always. And remember, if somebody asks you what you do, you just said that we just trade. Peace out.